Hey yo, what is up? It's been a couple of hours since they released the WZ111QL for auction, and I think it is a pretty high probability that the T-22 medium is going to be one of the tanks that's going to be released for sale in auction as well. So I decided today to bring you this tank. Now we are watching Mr. Crow from the EU server. He is a live streamer. I'm going to leave a link for you guys if you want to watch him. He's been streaming for many years now. A really personable guy and very interesting to watch. I don't think he streams in English anymore, but I'm sure he will respond to any questions if you have them in English. Anyway, he's running the T-22 medium in the latest configuration. That means this is the buffed version. He is running vents, he is running rammer, and he's running vertical stabilizer as the equipment. Now you're going to see him snipe here a little bit from a distance, but we're going to take a look at the stats of this tank compared to the other popular tanks which are in this tier, the 907, the Object 140. Well, they're all pretty much the same tank. It's basically these kind of tanks that do substantial amount of damage. I think they do. They all do 320 damage. They have 264 penetration with standard APCR shells, and their premium shells are going to be heat shells that do 330 penetration. They're all pretty much standard Soviet medium tanks. Just a little bit variation here and there. The reload time, of course, on this tank is the slowest among them all. It reloads at 7.19 seconds. The 907, the 140 reloads at 6.23 seconds, about 1 second quicker. But that's not what is special about this tank. You're going to find out in a minute why this tank is special. He is peaking against the E100 and takes a big hit on the nose there. You can see where he's taken a hit on the quarter panel, and now he is doing what this tank should be doing as often as possible, which you can see he's doing here, reverse side scraping. Now this tank has an incredible hull. It's got a V-shaped hull, much like the Object 907, and it is designed specifically. Its strength is in the reverse side scraping. You want to get into a reverse side scraping shape if you can. A lot of times it's going to bounce the hull because it's a V shape. It's just like that. It's going to bounce from the STB1. Reverse side scraping is one of its strengths, and that's what you need to do with this tank as much as possible. Now, if you look at the T-22 medium, if you look at the texture on the hull and on the turret of the tank, it looks very different from the T-62A or the 907 or the Object 140. That's because the T-22 medium is a very old tank. This tank has been in the game files for a long time and did not receive a big update in the way it looks. You can see the textures of the tank. It's still using the old texture, which means the skin of the tank looks a lot smoother. It does not have the rough texture that all the updated tanks have. The 140, the T-62A, even the 907 received an updated modeling, which means they've roughened up the texture of the skin of the tank. So if you look at the turret and the hull of the tank, if you look at the skin, it looks a lot smoother, and that's an indication of a very, very old tank, a very old model. But the T-22 medium, like I was telling you about, it's got an amazing hull. Now this tank, we were talking about the gun a bit there. It's got a slightly slower reload. The aim time is not too bad, 2.01 seconds, almost the same as 907 and 140. Of course, those tanks reload aim just a fraction quicker, 1.92 seconds. This one does it in 2.01 seconds. But in terms of gun handling, it is not too far off from the 140 or the 907 The dispersion is 0.36. The 907 has a slightly better dispersion, 0.35, and the Object 140 has even better dispersion, 0.33, and the T62A, I think 0.34 dispersion. Sorry, the T62A has a 0.33 dispersion, and the 140 has a 0.34 dispersion. Now, in terms of a moving dispersion, the 140, the T62A has even better moving dispersions. Those tanks, to be honest with you, don't even need vertical stabilizers if you're actually serious. The 907 and the T22 medium both have 0.12 moving dispersions, which is actually like 0.12 is already very good moving dispersions, to be honest. So in terms of gun handling, this tank is not too far off from the 907 or the 140 or the T62A. If you want to really pick at it, if you want to be precise, I'm going to say the 140 and the T62A has even better gun handling than the T22 or the 907 in terms of gun handling. But these tanks, the 907, be it the 907 or the T22 medium, is not just about gun handling. I was telling you about the hull armor. That is where these tanks have the advantage over the 140s and the T62As. That is why the 907 is always selected in terms of when you get into tournaments, advances, clan wars, 907s are the number one choices. Now, when the T22 medium comes out for sale and a bunch of people pick it up, I can almost guarantee you a lot of people are going to pick this tank for advances and clan wars. And it's not just because it's got an amazing gun, it's because it's got a really trollish hull armor. Frontally, not as good as from the back, as Mr. Crow demonstrated to you when he was reverse side scraping against the STB and that E100. Because of the V-shaped hull, this tank is absolutely amazing for reverse side scraping. So the hull armor is what makes this tank absolutely amazing, but the turret armor isn't too bad as well. The turret armor, you have 230 turret armor frontally, and on the sides it's got 170 thickness, and from the back 140 thickness. The back of the turret, almost 100 millimeters more thickness than the Object 140. So the turret armor is one of the best things you can get out of any kind of Soviet medium tank. In fact, the turret armor is the best among compared to the Object 907. The T62A and Object 140 has better frontal turret armor, but overall this tank, you can see it in fact in this position right now, fighting against that 907, which is hull down, poking over and shooting him. Mr. Crow can't do anything to that 907, and that 907 as well, if it's shooting against the T22 medium, it can't do anything to the turret armor as well. So they are in kind of like conundrum here. They can't exactly push each other. You need that 113 to do some work, and Mr. Crow here, he's not famous because he's patient, and that's why he's lost all his HP here, and because of that he's thrown his tank away. But thankfully we still have this 113 and an Object 705A, which still very healthy and can finish off this game. Now, what do you think about the T22A? It has already been buffed before the 112 update, and you are seeing it in its buffed state right now. If this tank comes on for sale in the black market, either for credits or for gold, most likely the indication says it's going to be in auction for credits. What are you willing to pay for it? 20 million? 30 million? I think this tank will probably sell for around that 25 million mark. So that's what I'm going to prepare. I'm going to prepare 25 million credits for this tank when it does come out, because I think I do want this tank, to be honest with you. It is kind of rare tank to have, not the greatest tank of all, but it's going to be very interesting to play, and it's going to be kind of fun. You can see he only landed 12 shots out of 30 shots. He hit 23 of them but only penned 12 of them, and that was mostly from trying to shoot that 907. But there you have it, T-22 medium for you. What is your choice? Are you going to go for this tank? I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.